Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, I want to go talk about something very intriguing that's going on right now in Japan, and the fact that the PlayStation 5 is actually doing really poorly and really badly, especially in Japan. Now, I'm sure you guys know when it comes to restocks that some regions are still very barren when it comes to actually getting consoles and getting Sony actually supporting them, giving them out actual things to go and buy. But it's very intriguing because a lot of these actual brand new games that are overall doing very well, think Rift Apart, have been doing extremely good in, say, the United States, UK, but some of them are doing absolutely awful when it comes to Japan. So I kind of want to talk about this, kind of give you guys my thoughts, and kind of overall showcase this, because realistically, this just doesn't really seem like it adds on up. And maybe just Japan, maybe just hates us, who knows? But we're gonna go talk about this throughout this video, so if you guys will sit back, relax, and enjoy. As well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. Also have that PS5 giveaway going on. Use that link tree link down below for bonus entries. Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys want to follow. Amazon links, we do know that Amazon has had stock showing on up, so make sure you guys keep on checking throughout that for the weekend, for controllers, consoles, all that good stuff, warehouse consoles, whatever it is, or all that Prime Day stuff. Also do have the Twitter and Twitch stream as I mentioned, and of course the Weeble. Sign up for Weeble, deposit $100. You guys go get free stock, free money. Coinbase, you guys go buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency. You guys go and get free Bitcoin. Let's go dive into the video itself. So, we should have a very intriguing article over here from Push Square, and I kind of want to talk about this. I'm going to definitely throw in my thoughts on this, and if you guys want to go and chime in on any of your opinions all throughout this video, please go do so. I love reading all the comments on the videos itself. So, we have this over here from Push Square that says the PS5 games are still selling poorly at retail in Japan, and that Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart only goes and sold 14,000 boxed copies. Now, I think, first of all of us collectively here could be like, wait, what? Now, first of all, I just always want to clarify, when it comes to box copies, that just means like, people in stores, in-game getting them. It does not typically usually count digital copies, but just to go and see the comparison, 14,000 numbers is nothing. Like, that is, I would consider that a failure. That's a massive failure. That means that like literally like no one even wanted to buy the game in comparison for that. So, let's go talk about this and go and see what they actually have to say. So basically, now that stock is slowly becoming more available, the PlayStation 5 is selling much better in Japan. So we more so mean that from the pure normal console. So it makes sense. It's all around good. Like if they're getting the consoles, life's good. They want to play the games, etc. And it's still not necessarily particularly spectacular, but in terms of hardware units, it actually has overtaken the PS4 and PS Vita when launched online, and is now catching up to the Wii U. Once again, that is not honestly the best comparison. This is basically them trying to be like, it's not going that bad, but think about how many units in total throughout the entire world that the Nintendo Wii U sold. It's nothing. Like, it's like, this is bad. Like, in my wording, I think that's awful. So, a later may not particularly surprise you, but it was a source of many memes at the beginning of the generation, because a lot of people are actually making fun of Japan because literally the Wii U was outselling the PS5 still. It was ridiculous. So the problem over here is that the software is actually not selling well at all, at least not in retail. So obviously there is important context here. So from Asu's data, which this article is based on, only actually does go and include physical sales. So we don't know whether these games are selling better digitally, which obviously it will for sure. But the fact that only 14,000 actual games for all these consoles, it's awful. Like, it's awful. It's literally like, just really sad. I want to talk about this stuff over here too, because the actual numbers over here are just literally bad. It's supposed to be more like the videos on for me. I kind of want to actually look through this Famatsu's data really quick too as well, for the news itself. If I can actually maybe see like rough numbers. I just want to let you guys know I can read Japanese, believe it or not, boys, believe it or not. And by that, I mean, I have literally no idea what I'm looking at, but I do see a cute waifu over here. That's always kind of cool. But basically some other numbers to go be on the lookout for all of this is that literally Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which is like the brand new DLC, I actually want to stream that today, I think, on Twitch, actually sold just only 20,000 units. Like, guys, these numbers, I like how the article's trying to make it seem like not that bad. As we look through the UK numbers, those numbers are skyrocketing. They're insanely high. Or if you try to look at the actual American numbers for even just the actual physical like game themselves, it's extraordinary higher. Now, of course, it does, I think the main issue with this is more so that Japan itself is still a little bit more on the pandemic side, not as much retail open. And as well, I do definitely think a lot more people are heavily more focused towards buying things on the PlayStation Store, especially in Japan, like all these areas like Korea, etc., where the internet's like more readily available. But oh my god, these numbers are embarrassing. Like these actually seem so bad in my mind. This one actually isn't so bad, actually, as you could feasibly pick up a pre-owned copy of the original PS4 game and just upgrade it, which I'm sure many savvy gamers did. Ratchet and Clank, though, however, can only muster 100, wait, I don't know how I got 14,000 units. It's not great. Like, I like how this article's even trying its best to not make it sound as bad as it is, but I think almost all of us collectively can agree that these numbers that they're showcasing over here are not good at all. This is not good. And especially for this, like if you guys go and compare, say, for the UK charts that we have the public access for, Ratchet and Clank was #1 by a big margin, even being things like Animal Crossing and Mario Kart. And those are like, I don't know how those are still consistently selling like so crazy. Like those things are nuts. Those things are astronomically nuts. So to see these numbers actually falling so bad, and even more so for a really good AAA game like Ratchet and Clank actually losing towards Final Fantasy DLC, that's insane. Like, I truly, if you guys could give me your thoughts down below, because I would love to hear it, that to me is insane. Now, of course, it makes sense too, because I do think the Final Fantasy series is very anime, very weeb type style. Also has its homegrown roots, in Japan. Like, a lot of people have like enjoy these types of games, or JRPGs, etc. But even still, Ratchet and Clank was such a very, very big promotional game, and probably one of the biggest games out there so far for the little PS5. Like, it makes no sense to me at all. Like, I just don't understand how it's doing so poorly, and how it seems like the PlayStation 5 is literally flopping in Japan. Now, of course, I do think the two major issues is more so they just don't have as many consoles as the other regions, like even, say, like the UK or even Europe or even, honestly, even Canada, America. So that does, I think, play a really big part. And it does kind of seem like Sony themselves are not specifically focusing too much when it comes to Japan itself for restocks. But overall, this just kind of seems like it's making the PlayStation 5 look like a failure for a actual console, because these numbers are not good. Now, once again, though, this is not also factoring the digital, but like, just if you guys can even see the comparison and how bad even Ratchet and Clank did, and that's really not good. And of course, as well for other games. Meanwhile, Guilty Gear Strive, which it's actually a really cool fighting game. I kind of want to go check it out myself. Next gen version didn't even make the top 10. The PS4 edition sold just 11,000 units. To put this into context, Nintendo's new game creation software, Game Builder Garage, debuted with 71,000 units. Sure, it's on a much more popular platform with a vastly superior install base, but you can see the difference. So you guys can even see this. Like, I have not seen a single person on my Twitter timeline. I stream on Twitch all the time. I have basically not seen almost anyone go and do anything, even mention Game Builder Garage. And guess what? In Japan, this is selling around what? Like 5 times as many units as literally Ratchet and Clank, 4 times as many units as literally Final Fantasy Remake. Like, this to me, I just can't wrap my head around it, boys. Like, it's like, oh. I mean, like, as I said, it more so is probably just more so based on the fact that the actual consoles are just so hard to go get. But like, you would think that Sony would realize this and see how poorly this is doing. And I'm not sure their marketing strategy. Like, I'm not sure if they're just more so like just trying to get a big backlog, and they hope maybe a year from now when people finally get their consoles very easily, that they're just like, all right, I heard Ratchet and Clank was a good game, let's go picking that up. Hey, I heard Returnal, cool game, let's go picking that up. Like, is that their strat? Like, I just feel like, I know it's hard to go make all the consoles, pandemic, shortages. Like, I mean, we've been living it for the past, what, 7 months. I just kind of feel like this just seems like a massive failure in terms of a major AAA game. Like, both of these are really, really big Final Fantasy titles, and only selling 20,000 units and 15,000 units, and literally losing to Nintendo Game Builder Garage. It almost seems like a massive meme. Like, it's insane. And of course, even how the article kind of states how I've kind of been talking about, the issue here is that the PS5 is actually sold out in Japan, so it's not like the hardware is readily available, but with the install base now nearing 1 million units, it's likely that consoles are being bought up by scalpers and shipped around Asia, because the software numbers do not appear to be getting better at all, at least not at retail anyway. So once again, we always have to go down to those dirty scalpers that just everywhere, no matter where, no matter what country, they're always there. But even for the people that are actually getting the consoles, I will go and say these numbers are not good. Like, I truly think if Sony themselves had another like 10 million consoles, flood the market in Japan, a lot of people bought them, the numbers would probably go up, at least in comparison, like percentage-wise towards Nintendo. But it truly does just kind of feel like it just seems like a failure right now in Japan. I really think that actually Sony messed up really, really big, and I do really think that Japan is a very big market that they should be focusing on. But I mean, they are trying their best in India and China, and they do have to kind of spread themselves thin, Because if you go and try to focus in, say, Japan, then maybe the American markets, like all of us watching these videos, might not get their consoles. So, I mean, it is kind of a hard decision to go make, especially as an executive. But, like, this is just not good. I really hope they can actually have some good, a flood of in-stock, like, just restocks everywhere. Because these numbers, like, I don't think Nintendo should be beating literally Ratchet and Clank. But, of course, as well, a lot of Japanese people don't necessarily like to go play as many Americanized games, too, as well. So I don't know. Very intriguing stuff to kind of go and see. It is kind of sad to go and see, but at least if you compare the numbers for Ratchet and Clank or even Final Fantasy for America, for UK, the numbers are insane. So at least we have something kind of good going on for Sony themselves. But I appreciate you all so much for watching. Would love to hear all your thoughts and comments down below. Make sure you guys are definitely subscribed with the notifications on. Twitter and Twitch room down below if you guys want to follow. Amazon links, as we mentioned. We're waiting for the next Amazon restock. We do know stock has arrived. Always link down below with the controllers, consoles, all that good stuff. Twitter and Twitch room, as I said, if you guys want to follow. Webull, sign up for that. Webull, make that free money, get that easy stuff. And of course, Coinbase, if you guys go buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency, you guys go and get free Bitcoin. Those are always linked down below. And thank you guys all so much for watching.